so that it's in the cycle, and let's give a different angle, switch to EV so it will be faster. Okay, so that is, and that is the wireframe. Okay, so that is the image for the reference. You can see her face is very distinguishable. So I think it's a very good chance for me to test the newest version of the human generator. And also I will show you how to make this like a separate long nail for your character, and also how to make this tear line. That I think is a very important part for a character, but it is not come with the human generator right away. Why I still think the human generator is one of the best add-on for Blender user. The biggest value for me is not just about creating a character, it's about learning Blender overall, because I know a lot of artists on Instagram or something, after they use human generator, their scale of Blender is really rocket high, because Blender sometimes is just like a blank canvas and you don't know what to do with it. Human generator is kind of like it give you some beginning idea to work with. When you play around with your character, you have a lot of idea just popping up in your mind, just how you want to dress your character, or how you wanted to do your hair, or do the environment or the lighting. So from this point you can grow so many things and so many possibilities. And also the shader or the shape key, the newest version is highly on the shape key, is all based on Blender. So that's why I'm really recommend human generator. And after you watch this video, if you want to download the human generator from the Blender market, please use this link. So now let's quick take a look inside of this new human generator add-on. After you install it, you will see this new panel, and there's some template to choose from. Now it is a lot, and this is the female. And also you can choose from the one that you already create and you save that as the new template to start on, like this one is that I create. And now we just choose from some default one. So let's go to the character and choose this female and create a new human. Okay, so now let's go to the EV. So that is the character, and let's go to the body to change some body type. Now we have more detail that we can control, like the upper arms or shoulder, and there's much more. Now let's take a look at the face. For the face, we have also a lot of slider that we can control. And now the slider even got a bigger range, so you can make a very special face and specific face. It will further improve the problem that some human creation looks too similar, because now you can have very big range to control, and sometimes it goes like a very extreme, so just careful about that. And also we have this custom slider that is the most important for this update. Like I just make some tests for these elf ears that we will demonstrate later, and also like these feet, because it didn't have the slider for the feet and I don't really like how it default looks like, so I make one to control that. So all this slider is coming from the shape key that we can sculpt. So you can sculpt any way you want. I will explain that more in the detail. And now we can like lock this, and we can just randomize to give some random face. So let's say I'm happy with this for this point, controlled by the slider, but of course we can never get a perfect face from just control the slider. That's why we need to scope on it to get some detail and something that we really want for our character. Take a look some like a skin texture. So we can pick some different skin texture, okay, and change the tone of it. And also we can turn on the subsurface scattering, but I feel it is too strong. Now it looks kind of like a wax. Let's go to the cycle. So that is the shader of it. So of course you can do anything with it. So I will like to give some weaker subsurface. Okay, I think that is good, and that is using hue to here, and we can. Okay, so we will talk about this in detail when we take a look at the final render. So we can add some freckles over here. But this is just controlling something that is inside of here. So you can just try to find the place and you directly just control it from here. There's two control. I think it's worth to mention is these two. Let's try to bring it up. So you see this, it provides some like a darker area on your skin. It get more realism, and this one I think is very good. Just try to bring it up. Let me just mute this. So that's before and after, like a darken the every part that is deeper in your skin, like a line on your lips, and also all the like a hole on your face. So you can just give a little bit 0.5 more depth for your skin. Also, like the eyes, you might want to change the color of the eyes. Change this inner eyes and the color, and give it like a brown. This color, like this white part of the eye, is controlled by here, and usually I will like it to make it darker. I think that looks more realistic. Let's use RGB for the color. Just plug it to here, maybe a little bit brighter, but with some like a bluish green or yellow, depending on your character, will give some realism. Now let's take a look bone for the expression. Let's go to this. I will just create a face rig, and we can just control this. Okay, so you can also change subdivision surface for some realism. Just you can change the color a little bit. Mix color. Give a little yellow. We can use this base color to control the mix, and use a color ramp. Okay, so the teeth will not look like a too white. It's a little bit more realistic. You can do a lot of expression. The expression sometimes it didn't look super realistic, and we can also sculpt the expression to change how the expression felt. That I will also demonstrate later. Okay, now let's sculpt something, and let's make some custom slider. So there is some special way to sculpt. Is using shape key. Then the new human generator is super relied on shape key. Actually, everything that we change on the slider is actually they transfer to the shape key. So for example, if I hide this, the character will actually go to some like a default form, and that is the one that we change from the slider, and that will be very important later when we have to do some hairs or something. So just keep in mind, sometimes you need to like hide this to be able to put the hair in the correct place. And also when we sculpt, I will like to create a new shape key. Okay, and let's turn it to 1, and let's name this maybe to elf. So the shape key sculpting is kind of like you are not directly sculpt on this character's mesh. You're kind of creating a data to tell the vertex where to change and how strong it changed relative to the original mesh. So when you change the value, it can go weaker or even beyond how much you sculpt. It will be very useful in a lot of cases. And before we sculpt, that's hide the particle system for the eyebrow and the eyelash it come with. And also, if you use the subdivision modifier, I will suggest you to turn it off temporarily. Just keep in mind, sometimes you will find your mouth will break, and that is because of that. So just telling you that. Okay, and now let's go to scope. So elf and on 1. Okay, then we just go to the scope mode and make sure you turn on this X so it will be mirror, and just press. We have these elf ears, and you might feel it's too strong, so just turn it down a little bit, 0.5. Okay, and you can keep sculpting at this point to be the way you like, and even some detail inside of the ears. So sometimes when you scope in the like a 0.5, it might looks fine, but when you go to 1, well, looks maybe too extreme. So just smooth out a little bit. And if you even want to be longer, you just turn this max to be like a 3. So you can go to like this, and you can just smooth a little bit, so you can be working in the situation. And you just try if like a 0.5 still looks good. I think it still looks okay. Yeah, so that is the elf ears, and now that's turned it to become like a custom slider that we can change. So go to this custom content, and you will see this elf that we just create. Let's go to 1. Okay. And then let's save this, and it will ask you which category you want to save, and choose this, the second one, the face. So don't choose this body one. I will tell you why later, but even you sculpt on the body, just choose this face. Pick a category you want. If you feel it is about ears, you can go to ears, but actually I prefer to put everything that I create in this custom one. If you don't have this name, you just create a new one and pick a name you want. Okay, and next, and just name this. Okay, so just save. So now we already saved that, and this one, the name will be changed to what you create. So now if we mute this and we go to this face section, and we can find custom section, we have this new elf ears. So now we can control it directly from this panel. And let's say if there's something that I really wanted to control over here instead of here, because sometimes you use this more often after you basically create your character, but you still want to change something over here. For example, this nose height, I will wanted to reach this to become shape key. I will just click this button at the end. After I click it, it will have 1 to here, this to 0. So I can just control it from here. So that is very important and is very useful. It's kind of like the invert of what we just did about making a custom slider. It's making the slider become a shape key. But I don't know, it's like a bug or something in the body category. It doesn't have that button. That's why I'm telling you, whatever you create for the custom slider, don't create on the body part, only create on the face category. It might be fixed later, so it might not be a problem in the future. Okay, so that is that. And what if I want to delete this? If I want to delete this, like this elf test, so if I go back to this custom content, and this is the open content overview, click on there, and you will see something like this. Let's see everything. So actually all this starting character, if you don't like, you can just like erase this, so you will never see that. Actually some character like this I might never use, just like delete it, so it will not longer show up. So all the content that is inside of this human generator, you can actually delete that. Now I wanted to delete the shape key. It's called life key. Find this elf test that I want to erase. I can just delete from here. You can create your content as a product that people can download. You see over here, and you can choose which one you want to include, and just send it to your friend or put a Blender market, let people download, and they can install your character or your shape key, kind of like become a own ecosystem. So that's why I will be sharing some of my shape key in my Patreon, so you can download that. So the way to install, it's over here, select content pack, pick the pack that you download, and it will be installed over here. Okay, now let's sculpt more detail for my face. So I just create a new shape key, and I will call this eye. So I sculpt something on the eyes. My suggestion is you sculpt each part separately. Like for the eyes, I just sculpt the eyes because this like eyeball is a little bit too wide. Wanted to fix that. And I will like to give some detail for the face. One I will like to do is I will curve in this like some detail. So now I will show you like the technique that I usually sculpt for the face. Actually, I only use some of the brush, so it's very easy. You can basically sculpt every kind of face. So this is for like carving. Also this I use very often. It is making your wireframe tighter, like maybe here. Every time you find this like a bigger angle or like a very certain angle, you can use this to tighten the wireframe, and after that you just curve in, and sometimes you're just using this to make things rounded. This one is kind of like the combination of this one and this one. It is also curving a little bit, and also tighten a little bit. So you see, it's very easy. It's not even like sculpting. It's just like it's kind of like pushing. Every time you just push a little bit, and it's very easy. I think everyone should be able to do that, and just spend some time. You can get what you want. But I just make a very big mistake. Remember I said I named this to be eyes, but sometimes when I sculpt, I just go all around. So not just go to eyes. So that is not very ideal. The ideal is like I make this only for the eyes, and I make one, you know, for the like the nose. And I sculpt nose, and I make one for the mouth. Okay, so every time I can just control it like separately. So that's the mistake I just made. So don't be like me. But how to fix my mistake for these eyes? Because I only wanted it to apply on the eyes. So I can go to these eyes and go and also turn on this mouse. So now I decided to transfer some of this change for this eye shape key. I transfer anything I do for the mouse to this M, like the mouse shape key. Now it's like empty. And now if I go to edit mode, I will see actually this original model. That is because it will show you the default model, the mesh. So if we click on this, it will show you with the shape key. So just click on this. So now if we click on this M for the empty one for the mouth, okay, and now we just choose everything for the mouse. So we just go to here and we select. After I select, I click on this vertex and use this blend from shape. I will see this panel, and I will just pick this eyes, blend to one, and add. Okay, so now we will see this one. It do have some change only for the mouse. So if we hide the eye one, you can see now it only for the mouse. So now it looks okay, and let's create a new one for the eyes. And so this one I call it eyes, and the old one I just call it eye. And now I want to transfer this, the eye one, to the eyes one. So I still click on this eyes and go to the edit mode, and I pick whatever eyes part. Be like this. You don't have to worry about you select some part over here if you don't have any change in this shape key. Again, vertex, blend from shapes. Let's pick this eye. Not the eyes, not this one, but this one. And we transfer this to here, that one we have select. Okay, and now click in the empty space. Okay, so now it do have some change, and so now we can hide this, and we can even delete that. Okay, so we delete this mistake one, so that just delete that. And now let's open this. So now I have this one for the eyes, this one for the mouse. Yeah, so that is how you separate the change that you make. And if you want to combine them, like you can combine this mouse with these eyes. Again, if you're happy with the final change, you can do that. Just do the same that we just did. Just select one of these and transfer the M to the eyes, so it becomes one. Okay, so now we know how to do that. Let's talk about long nail. You just have to make a shape key. You extend all your fingertips, then make a custom slider for that. So if you take a look at the custom slider that I make, it's called nail grow. So you can see that sort of give you the feeling of the long nail. However, it is finger is also be extend. we can separate this object, delete the rest of the body, make some texture for it, and now we make it to become a shape key. Click this button, go to 0, and we can have this one, and let's hide this first, and we can go to the animal. Okay, and we make a vertex group for this. Pick every center of your finger, shift click, then make sure you click all the center of the finger and Control Add 3 times. And now extend to all your nail. Okay, make sure that and make a new group and assign that and name that to be nail. Make sure to select that. Okay, now we can make a material that's called it nail. Okay, and make any color, red. Let's assign this and assign. Now we have the material on the fingernail, and then we try to extend that. Now it kind of looks like a long nail, but of course you go to extreme, you will see. So that's why we have to separate this model and just duplicate this and make it this separate one to nail. And go to the first one and hide the shape key, so the original will not have the long nail. And the nail one, we can make a mask and pick this nail. Yeah, so now we have this nail, and maybe use this smooth contour a little bit, and we can delete the rest of the material because now we only have one. Now let's use solidified. Yeah, so that is the long nail. Okay, now let's talk about the tear line. So to make the tear line, we also wanted to duplicate this object and duplicate. And right now we can just hide the original one, and we'll make this to be tear line. So let's go to the animal. And now we wanted to pick this area, this part, and let's shift auto and click. Okay, and let's pick other size as well. Shift auto and click. Okay, and then make a group and assign. So after we select this area, let's separate them. So we press P and this selection to separate them. Now we got this tail line 001. Go to the object mode and we hide the tail line, and we click on this tail line 001 animal. Now we separate this, but make sure you still have all this shape key, because actually when we move our character's eyes, actually eyelid is also kind of moving, so it's controlled by this shape key. And also when we close the eyes, also controlled by the shape key. So actually we want this shape key to function. So we want to delete the top part of this, so let's delete the top part. But after you delete some, vertex might jump. Don't worry about that, because when we go back to the object mode, it will go back. Just keep deleting like this, only the lower part. Do the same for the other part. Okay, and now we make a shape key Okay, and let's go to the animal. And on this shape key, go to 1 and we extrude, grab it and press Y, the Y axis. So just extrude a little bit, not too much. Okay, and then we extrude it again, press E. So grab and X, and just a little bit. Okay, so now we have this. When we grab this new shape key, you can see how much we extrude. It's kind of like become stronger. So now we just go to 1 and let's open our eyeball and the body and give a material. Let's delete all this and let's create a material called tear line. Leave it to white first, and we can turn on this subdivision surface. So now it's much more smoother. It's kind of like a tube. Some part is go inside of your eyeball. So now we can sculpt on it and make another shape key. Shape. We sculpt the shape around the eyes. So just sculpt it and make sure you turn on this shape, and you can go to this, to the random, so you can see easier. Shape smooth, and also go to the animal to see the face orientation. So now it is actually facing the wrong position. When we have the shader, it will looks weird. So just recalculate it, and if still red, just flip it. Okay, and let's see. Okay, everything is blue, so it's fine. So now we have this line perfectly around the eyes. So now let's go take a look at this material for the tear line. Let's turn the roughness to almost 0 and metallic give some transmission. So now you see it is having some black line, right? So now you have to give the alpha really low. So the alpha, it will make it to be like a transparent, but the highlight of it will not affect as much unless it totally go to 0. It will disappear, even the highlight. So if you go to like a 0.1, this tear line, it will almost be disappear, but the highlight will still visible. So in this case, we can see that only the highlight. But actually, I will like to remain even higher. Or actually, I kind of like having this little bit black line remain. So just leave like a 0.2 or something. So now you will have a very beautiful tear line. So you can see even the eyelid is moving, the tear line will follow. So that's why we have to use the duplication from the body. If you want it to be like sometimes even more visible and even like extend like longer, just give a roughness, higher roughness. However, sometimes it might be not as sharp as it. So just give a try. This tear line is also one of the most important thing about making a realistic human. It really gives like kind of like the soul of your eyes. And then we will talk about how do we sculpt the expression, because the expression come from the human generator as default. It's not perfect. Everyone's expression will looks totally different. We give some expression, maybe smile expression for the both side. Let's take a look what cause the expression. The expression is actually all coming from the shape key with this driver. So you can see this mouse left and mouse right goes to 1. So it means change this bone, it will affect this smile left and right. So we can hide this temporarily so we know, okay, it's these two. It's very simple. From here we just have to know the one that we are sculpting on is 1, and we are clicking on this and we just sculpt. But in this case you cannot sculpt in the mirror because we only wanted to sculpt one side, which is this one. I think now it looks fine, but just for demonstration, that's maybe make it that. See? Okay, so this one, the left one, is the one that I have scoped, and the right one I have not scoped. So now I have to scope the other part and just make sure I click on the right one and just keep sculpting this part. I can leave this on closed just as long as I'm not sculpting on that part. And you don't really have to worry too much that the two part is not mirror. People's expression are really not 100% mirror, just have to be relative same and looks fine. That will be enough. Just I really wanted to have this line, so I saw that. I'm just giving a very quick demonstration. However, sculpting a perfect expression, it's very difficult, and also the expression shape key, they will overlap each other. For example, this is smile, but also affecting this part. They will be overlapped. The power also be overlapped. So sometimes it will be too extreme, and you just have to keep fixing that. We can change everything with human generator. Basically, just you have to find the right place to do it. And now it's almost everything about the shape key. So just have to be a master of manipulating the shape key, and you can do a lot of things. So now we have this happy elf, and let's talk about something about hairs. And I'm not going to show you how to make hairs in this video. If you want to know how to make hairs, you can watch other videos, but I'm going to talk about new human generator. We'll have some problem with the new hair system in the Blender. That's because of the shape key. Okay, so this shape key, it will give some problem when you do your hairs. Let me show you what I mean. So now I'm going to make a very simple hair root object. So this is the hair root object, the most simple one. If I'm making some hairs on top of this object, hairs, okay. Let's brush it. Let me bring the hair node. So I'm using the hair node that I built before. You can use any kind of systems. Maybe the Blender one is okay. Apply. Okay, now it all seems fine. Even when I apply, that's because the one that I just applied is only set the radius and also set the sample. It doesn't affect the position of the hair. But what if I use something that affect the position of the hair? For example, I'm using hair transform. This node is the one of the node that I built. It's very simple. It just transform your hair position, the whole hair position, and it put the root back on your root object. So if I use this and I pick this root object, okay, so now I'm transform it, maybe. Okay, so for example, I set the hair, the transform, like something like this, and I try to apply this. You will see this hair, it go to a very different position. And this is just one of the example. It means sometimes you apply your node, your hair node, it will like go to the wrong position. So why is that? That is because of the shape key. Let's see here. Because this hair root, it got all the shape key, but when it apply, it's kind of only calculated as the original shape. So what we need to do is go to your root object and go to this base one, okay, and click on this pin picture. It will make this basic shape key to be the solo one, to be the only one that works. So now it means it goes to the original shape, okay, something like that. So for example, my hair is not on the root object but on my characters object, need to do the same thing. I need to make it to the original shape before I apply. So that's what we're going to do. So let's see the difference. So let's see in this yeah, so that is the result I want to get. Remember this. And now let's go to here and try to pin this. So now I can apply it. So when I apply, it doesn't move at all. That means it's correct. And now I can make it back to the shape. And this is the result that we want. It's not like before, just applied, it will move to a weird position. That is the thing that you need to be careful about the human generator and the new hair systems, that the shape key is going to affect something. Just be careful. Sometimes it may be other modifier, or maybe you make some geometry node systems. Maybe when you need to apply, it might have some kind of problem. Maybe it come with the shape key. And now let's take a look again the work that I did. Let's see what we can talk about in this character. So now if you see my shape key, so this one, it was like so many of these different shape key, and after that I joined them all become one, like this one, neckline. I think it is a very interesting shape key. I might make it into the slider that I can use in the future project, because I think it gives a character a lot of realism. And now let's take a look for the hairs. So the hairs, I make two separate hairs. First I make this long hair for using hair node v1, and after that I just duplicate the whole set of hairs, and I remove all the part of the hairs and only remain like a few, and I brush it to the front. And for that is the hairstyle, and also the pitch first. So I think this time I make the pitch first pretty well. I think the amount and also the length, I think it's quite good. It's much longer than what I usually make, but I think for this render it looks very fine. So that is the material that I used for the pitch first. Let's see the skin texture of this character. The skin texture mostly over here is just coming from human generator, but this part is for the beauty spot. This spot like this. This one is for the old version of the human generator. I would really wish they will bring it back, skin texture from the human generator. And I just using this. If you see my last video, you will know it darkened the corner of the skin, give the feeling of the flashlight, like a photo shoot. So that is from the last video. And also I make a color mix layer using this color mix stack on each other. So basically just mixing color, and I have a video for that. I hope you can watch that because it is much useful than I even expect. All the makeups, like unevenness skin color, close to the chest, the skin is much lighter because we will have the clothes cover for the most of time, so lighter skin. Okay, so I mix that to here. I some freckles. I mix all that. If I want to make some tattoo or something, I can mix it to there. And I feed it to the shader. Finally, I mix it with some blader. Some part will have like very big reflection. This one is also the same video, this one. So you can go check that as well. So it's like a mixed shader layer. If you see some highlight, now it's kind of smooth, but with this one, you can really tell it. Yeah, so that is the character. That is almost everything that I want to talk about in this video, but let's go back to the human generator add-on. So the last thing I want to talk about, bake texture. We can bake this result. Even I use this color layer that I have shown you that I used before, also bake it into the final result. So it's not made for this character, so it looks very weird, but it's just makeup. And I can even give some makeup on here, maybe this like eyebrows. Okay, so if I bake this, even something I do with this can be baked into one image. Let me show you. Select the file. Yes. Set. And I choose this duplicate human, so it will not just replace. But before you hit progress, make sure you have turned on your like a render on this object. Otherwise, it will have some errors. And then let's hit the progress and just let it bake for some time. Okay, now we finished the baking of the texture. Let's see what we got. So we got all the texture for this human body, including your eyeball, teeth. But I'm not sure why the eyeball didn't come with the normal. I hope the developer will see this. We have this, and you see this is even come with the makeup. Not only bake what is provided from the human generated node, it also come with everything that we make, whole node tree. Yeah, so that is the video, is to share what I've learned during this process of making this work. Also the workflow for the new human generator add-on. If you want to download the new human generator add-on, please use this link to download. In this way, you can support me and also get this awesome add-on. And they even have a Discord server, and we can discuss things on there. And again, I will be share my future files on my Patreon. You can go there and download to support me. Thank you for watching. See you in my future video. Bye bye.